everybody. Y'all out there? Oh, sweet river flow, London town is mine to give her. Sweet Thames flow softly. Can anybody see me yet? I know there's some numbers coming on. Aha, Heidi Barron. And you can hear me okay? Very good. Okay, well, we got a few minutes. Heidi, you're in Washington. You had a birthday this week. Happy birthday. Nice to see some names going up. You're here, Ken. Yes, you are. Who else is coming in? Deborah, yes. Mary Pat, all the way from Butte. I got a couple of Beth Wimmer from Switzerland. Hi, Beth. What a nice surprise. All the way from Switzerland. Let's see. I will be mixing it up today, and some songs I'll be doing that I've never performed before. That's kind of where I've been going with some of these things. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Beth. Yeah, look at me. Me and a guitar, nothing else. In my hardwood floor living room. That's it. And my Android phone. Some people might wonder why I look like I'm playing left-handed. It's because Jimmy Sachs is coming in. Well, that's not why I'm playing left-handed. I see Jimmy Sachs there. Murph, good to see you. Vicky Hernandez. Hi, Vicky. Yeah, the thing is, I have a Droid, okay? And a Droid phone, which is actually sounds great, as you can adhere to. Hopefully, if you're looking at it on your phone or through headphones, that's great. It sounds good either way. And or looking at an iPad or whatever you're looking at, whatever kind of laptop you might have, or whatever device you're using. It's really crystal clear, I'll give it that. And it's got a good sound because, you know, I've listened to some of the shows. But it doesn't have an inversion. You can invert the iPhones, but not the Droids. So there you go. So I don't actually play left-handed. This is my right hand, so. Okay? And a word about my roses this week. I might mention them again. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Amy. Nice to see you, ladies. These are, the purple ones here are my Barbara Streisands. They're from my front yard. They smell heavenly. And this one pink guy right here, this one, I got him from the backyard. He was a lonely soul back there. The lonely little petunia. And there was a few other ones around him that were passed on. I had to deadhead them. But hi, Christy. I'm trying to change every week. I don't have that many varieties, but this is the first time I've had the Barbara Streisands. They're not terribly hearty. They seem to just bloom and go very, very quickly. So I managed to grab a few of them this week. There's a couple of buds here I had to sacrifice to get the rest of them on the stalk. So anyway, they're lovely flowers. I like my garden front and back. Very pleased, and I'm very grateful for everything I have. So it's almost time to start. And as I mentioned, those of you who are just joining me, I've got a few new songs this week and some that I've never done before. At least one that I wrote. I've got some friends I know are tuning in from Butte, Montana. Hi, Angela Wickstead. Nice to see you, dear. Butte is one of my favorite places in the world. It's a small Irish city up in Montana. And it's where the Butte copper mines were discovered in 1880 by a gentleman from County Cavan in the north of Ireland named Marcus Daly. And he quickly put out ads all over Ireland, actually, for labour. When the ads in the windows of the East Coast Wasp Yankee stores said no Irish need apply. And in fact, for almost any jobs, whether they were domestic jobs or could be whatever, farm hands, no Irish need apply. It was one of those things. They came over after the famine years and they were Catholic and they were very hated. So they fought their way up. The Irish fought their way up in through politics in the East Coast, and it became a very powerful group. So I'll be singing a couple of, the one I wrote is called Bear It to Butte. And I actually sang it in the church in Butte after I sang in the Mass last year. And that was the only public performance it's ever had. I'm going to do it in old Irish style. I'll get to that anyway, so it's just about time to start. And for all those watching, I see the numbers are going up there. That's great. You're more than welcome. And I thank you again for supporting me this week. Hi Jan, how are you? Matt Sattloff, good to see you. Bridget Stapleton. And will you bear with me a moment? I think I'm going to turn up my air conditioning just a bit. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's getting a little warm out here in the San Fernando Valley. Anyway, my first song today is a song I'm going to dedicate to the couple of people, Mike and Debbie Galway, out in Pasadena, I believe. And a very special shout out to Cora from Donegal, who turned 88 last Monday. And she's been watching me every week. And thank you, Cora, all the way from Donegal, just outside Letterkenny. So Cora, this is for you also. It's a song that I learned from a great accordion player here years ago. And it's a classic Irish waltz called The Galway Shawl. And I'll be making notes at my iPad now and again, okay? In Orenburg, in the county Galway, one pleasant evening in the month of May, I spied a damsel. She was young and handsome, her beauty fairly took my breath away. She wore no jewels, nor costly diamonds, no paint nor powder, no, none at all. But she wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and around her shoulder was the Galway shawl. We kept on walking, she kept on talking, till her father's cottage came into view. Said she, "Come in, sir, and meet me father, and play to please him the foggy dew." She sat me down beside the hearthstone. I could see her father, he was 6 feet tall, and soon her mother had the kettle singing. All I could think of was the Galway shawl. She wore no jewels, no fancy diamonds, no paint nor powder, oh none at all. But she wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and around her shoulder was the Galway shawl. I played the blackbird, the stack of barley, Rodney's glory, and the foggy dew. sang each note like an Irish linnet, and tears welled in her eyes of blue. She wore no jewels, no fancy diamonds, no paint nor powder, no, none at all. But she wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and around her shoulder was the Galway shawl. 'Twas early, all in the morning, I hit the road for old Donegal. Said she, goodbye, sir. She cried and kissed me, but my heart remains with the Galway shawl. She wore no jewels, no fancy diamonds, no paint nor powder, no, none at all. But she wore a bonnet with a ribbon on it, and around her shoulder was the Galway shawl. There you go now, the Galway shawl. I learned that from the great Des Regan. Lived here for many years. He owned his own pub in North Hollywood for a long time. The late, great, wonderful guy, Des Regan. Anyway, I've got some requests today also, so I'm going to do the next one is another request for Sharon out in Kentucky. And it's one I've done a couple of times, well, at least once already. It's called The City of Chicago. And this is written by Luca Bloom. And he's the younger brother of the great Irish balladeer Christy Moore. And Luca is a fine singer and an superb guitar player. Had the pleasure of playing with him when we were both 17, a long, long time ago. So he wrote this song about the Irish coming to America post-famine years, you know, and spreading out across the country to the Wild West, etc., and the Midwest. So it's called The City of Chicago. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. 1847 was the year it all began. Deadly pains of hunger drove 1 million from the land. They journeyed not for glory, the motive wasn't greed, a voyage of survival across the stormy seas. To the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. Some of them knew fortune, some of them knew fame, more of them knew hardship and died upon the plains. They spread across the nation, rode the railroad cars, brought the songs and music to ease their lonely hearts. To the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. city of Chicago. As evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. 1847 was the year it all began. Deadly pains of hunger drove a million from the land. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for all the applause. It says, hey, Terry Casey. Hey, I enjoyed your set the other night. Mr. Terry Casey, the Fenians, is watching. Thank you, Terry. This is a song called The Night Ferry. I normally do a lot of explaining about it, but it's basically about the Irish going over to the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, during and post World War II, in their tens of thousands annually. It was just an exodus following Ireland getting its independence. De Valera, the Irish government, wanted to keep Ireland a very rural, agricultural society. Okay? No industry. That was the plan. Very close cahoots with the Catholic Church on that one, keeping the farmers down on the farm, etc. And so as a result, there was no work for an awful lot of people. So they went to England. That was the only answer. And following World War II, there was an awful lot of repair, building. Cities were demolished. London was half demolished by the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force. So there was tons of work. New roads were being built. The underground was being repaired and spread out. So there was no shortage of work for the Irish. And there was a lot of sad stories, many sad stories about, I won't say it was all men, but mostly men that went over there and all they did was drank their wages, on the weekend. So, hi, Benita. I see you've written something there, but I can't read it. Anyway, never mind. I shouldn't be reading anything. So, thanks for the nice compliments, everybody. This is called the Night Ferry, and it was the ship that took all those people to Holyhead and in North Wales and Liverpool, mainly. They were the two major cities that, Holyhead's only a village, really. It was just where the train, it was the closest point to Ireland, straight across from Dublin. And the train from Holyhead went down and all the way to London. So, and of course stopped in many of the other cities along the way. But the Irish went to Coventry, the car and lorry and truck factories, Birmingham, Manchester, you name it, they were all over the place, Liverpool. So this is called The Night Ferry. One of my all-time favorite songs, by the way. And this goes out to Jimmy Sachs up there in Oregon. Thanks, Jimmy. I came home across the sea to my homeland once again. It was nice to see the land that I was born in, and the air, it felt so fresh. The wind held back my tears as I slowly walked down the gangway. Oh, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. Yes, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. As I walk through the city again, try to remember everything. There were people there and then with their friends. Shining down on me, they were making my heart feel free back home. And I learned to love and hate with all my friends. And I kissed my first girl. My friends, they laughed at me. At the gates where we met constantly. Oh, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. Yes, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. I left home when I was 16. My people, they didn't agree, but it didn't bother me with their beating. And I left my own country to seek opportunity and see what could really be and better my friends. I came home across the sea to my homeland once again, and it was nice to see the land that I was born in, and the air, it felt so fresh. The wind held back my tears as I slowly walked down the gangway. Oh, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. Yes, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. Oh, the night ferry, it's taking me home again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Virginia Morris. Great to see everybody here today. So happy you're all here on a Sunday afternoon. Everybody holding up okay? I certainly hope so. I'm still here, go out of the house maybe once, maybe twice a week. And I am keeping my head down. My family are well, thank God. I want to wish my son Brendan, if he's there today, I'm sure they are, happy St. Brendan's Day. Today's St. Brendan's Day. So, St. Brendan is the patron saint of navigators. We all believe in Ireland that he was the first person possibly to discover America in the 9th century. He and 12 or 13 other monks sailed in a leather-covered boat with a sail, sailed off up to from Fenit in County Kerry, all the way up to the Faroe Islands, then on to Iceland, on to Greenland, and into Newfoundland, we believe, and came back. Imagine that. So he talked about a great big world that he discovered. So my son Brendan was the first American O'Malley, so he's named after the two most famous saints of Ireland. He's Brendan Patrick. So happy St. Brendan's Day to all the O'Malleys and all of you out there too. He's the patron saint of sailors, mariners, and patron saint of whales. Imagine that, as in orcas and killer whales. Anyway, moving right along here, I just wanted to say, I was talking about Bute earlier, and so many thousands of Irish people came over direct to Bute. I mentioned Marcus Daly, one of the couple of different Irish guys. They weren't partners. They were actually quite the opposite. William Clark was the other Irish guy, and they were like this at each other. But Bute was the greatest source of copper at the turn of the 20th century, and a lot has changed since. But it was mined literally up till almost the 1980s, the early 1980s, strip mining at that point. But thousands and thousands of Irish. Now, there was copper in Ireland for centuries. And there was a great deal of copper down in the southwest of Ireland, way out in West Cork, in a place called Allihies. There was probably 12 to 14 mines, and it was owned by an Anglo-Irish family named Puxley, who had been around since the Cromwellian era. They had received the land in a grant, probably for some guy's heroism. He was awarded all these thousands of acres of land in the southwest of Ireland. So Puxley was quite the businessman, and they brought over miners from Cornwall who had a lot of experience too, but the Irish mined it, and it was a regular, it ran out of copper basically around 1872, but the copper was discovered in the 1880s in Butte, and he advertised in Ireland, and that whole area, the Sullivans, the Handleys, the Harringtons, the Dwyers, the Shays, they all left that part of the country and came out to Butte, directly to Butte. So I am going to sing a song I wrote. Okay. It's called, and the peninsula was known as the Beara Peninsula. The great Irish chieftain was O'Sullivan Bear. My mother, her name was O'Sullivan. So, and I have many relatives in Butte, most of whom I don't know any of them at all. But I found out recently that my grandmother, who's a Handley, my grandfather was a Sullivan, his wife was a Handley, and she had 3 sisters who went to Butte together. Not sure what year, probably about 1893 maybe, or 1895. And I know they're definitely relatives from their offspring in Butte, and I'm actually looking at the Butte archives right now, see if I can find anybody. Anyhow, here we go. I wrote this song called the Beara to Butte song. And I'm going to sing it in the old Sean-Nós style. A lot of the Sean-Nós was done mostly in the Gaelic language, but I learned how to do this from my time spent in the Aran Islands as a teenager. I spent a lot of time learning the Irish language and speaking the Irish language in the Inishmaan, mainly the middle island of the 3 Aran Islands off the west coast of Galway. Okay, so it's a certain style. A lot of the songs even had the same melody, just different lyrics, and a lot of them were about immigration, okay? So here we go. The great hunger was cruel, our world was forsaken. The landlords and agents cleared us off the land. From the mines and the farms, our jobs they were taken. The roads and the byways were England's backhand. When the hand of our God passed over the Beara, the call of salvation from Daly was there. Real jobs and a life out there in Butte, America. A different world, but an answer to prayer. Don't stop in America, go straight out to Butte. The message to Ireland called out and was clear. Ivies, Bearhaven, Allihies and Bantry. We left in our thousands the old country so dear. We worked for the Puxleys way out there in Allihies, from 1812 on through 72. The mines they closed down and the hunger replaced them. Breaking rock underground was all that we knew. From the Beara to America and on to Montana, for a chance on a future I couldn't foresee. Took what little I owned, left me mother and father. The copper in Butte was waiting for me. Don't stop in America, go straight out to Butte. The message to Ireland called out and was clear. Iries, Bearhaven, Allihies and Bantry. We left in our thousands the old country so dear. Joined a ship out from Cove and we landed in Boston. Some of us stayed and more headed west. There was work to be had underground in the Rockies. Trusted God with our hope and we prayed for the best. Arriving in Cork town, I met cousin Michael, a handy from Iries with a room and a bed. He had a job at the Kelly and said they were hiring. Butte was me future, no more to be said. Don't stop in America, go straight out to Butte. The message to Ireland called out and was clear. Iries, Bearhaven, Allihies and Bantry, we left in our thousands the old country so dear. 20 years later I came to the surface. I was grateful that I was still standing upright. My chest wasn't breathing as God meant it should be. But I'll say to you all one more time, Tapper Light. From the Beara to America and on to Montana, for a chance on a future I couldn't foresee. Took what little I owned, left me mother and father. The copper in Butte was waiting for me. Don't stop in America, go straight out to Butte. The message to Ireland called out and was clear. Iries, Bearhaven, Allihies and Bantry, we left in our thousands the old country so dear. There you go. Touch of the old Shannos there for you. And now here's another song that was written by, I believe, Jim Schultz up there in Montana. And all the mines had names. The original, the Granite Mountain, which was a terrible disaster in 1917. The Granite Mountain caught fire and 168 men were killed. The largest known number of men killed in one single hard rock mining ever anywhere in the world. So let's see. This is a song called The Orphan Girl. And the people up there, they love this song. And written by Jim Schultz, I believe. So pull out the old guild here. Is everybody okay? Y'all having fun? If you're enjoying the show, don't forget there, you can go to a link on my website, www.kenomalley.com. And there's all kinds of news in there, news of the tours that I'm still planning for this year. God help us. I had to postpone the April tour to October, okay? So we're going to go to the southwest, out to the mining area in Allihies and West Cork, among other places. I'm going to stay in Bantry for a few nights and meet all my relatives in Castletownbere, and then go up to the Cliffs of Moher in Clare, and on to spend a night in Galway, and then up to my father's hometown of Westport for 3 nights, and do the trip around Mayo and Achill Island, then across to Dublin for a couple of nights. That will be from the 10th to the 19th of October. All the information's on the website. And then I'm going to stick around Dublin for a few days, and then we're going to do the Halloween tour, commencing with 3 nights in Dublin for the Bram Stoker Festival. That's the 24th. That begins on the 24th. And then we go up to Belfast after 3 nights, up in Belfast for 2 nights, do the whole tour of Belfast, do the Titanic Museum, etc. And we will stop in Newgrange, by the way, on the way to Belfast, the Neolithic tomb, 2,500 years, and I have been given the okay to enter the tomb with my tour. It's not everybody that gets that privilege, okay, but I have the honor of getting it again this year. So anyhow, and then we'll go across to Derry for the magnanimous Derry Halloween Festival for 3 nights, and then back down to Dublin. So that's going to be a terrific one. And all my music is for sale on the website. Anything you want to check out. Also, there's a link to a virtual tip jar. There's several ways. There's Venmo and PayPal, and there's one other method you can use, okay? So if you can afford it, I know times are tough right now, and this is all I'm doing at the moment, folks. Like a lot of us Irish, any musicians that work for a living, this is what it is right now. So anything is considered great assistance. And but I know we're all tight these days, so please don't feel anything if you can't do anything around the tip jar. Please don't even worry about it, okay? So this is a song called The Orphan Girl, which was the name of one of the mines up there and you get the idea. I love this song. For all the guys in Bute. In the darkness we arrive to greet the orphan girl. Every morning before 5, where the head frames whirl. As we drop into the black for our children and our wives, we hear the cage bells ringing for the orphan girl. Now daylight's but a dream for the orphan girl. We are following the gleam of the silver swirl. Set the charges, light the fuse, and blast another scene to keep the hammer swinging in the orphan girl. We toil around the clock with the orphan girl. We are busting up the rock that we heave and hurl. Then we push it down the track onto the loading dock to keep the smelter singing o'er the orphan girl. They come from all around to meet the orphan girl. To the chippy hoist they're bound, down the shift they'll twirl, where the air is always cool and the timber stout and sound, and another heart is clinging to the orphan girl. If there's a mine for us, it's the orphan girl, where the rattle and the fuss of the steam drill skirl take us deeper down the hole, closer to the devil's dust, for the bounty we'll be bringing from the orphan girl. Oh yeah! In the darkness we arrive to greet the orphan girl. Every morning before 5, where the head frames whirl. As we drop into the black for our children and our wives, we hear the cage bells ringing for the orphan girl. As we drop into the black for our children and our wives, we hear the cage bells ringing for the orphan girl. God bless you all in Bute. Okay, where are we now? All right, I had a special request for this one. I know it's a song a lot of you guys like me to do. I can probably tell already I won't get through the whole list today. That's all right, I'll save some of them for next week. Everybody okay out there? It's called Raglan Road. Most of you who know it know the story. I won't waste the time on it. On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a falling leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we stepped lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I not making hay. But I love too much, by such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her secret signs that's known to artists who have known true gods of sound and stone. But words and tint without stint I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, her own dark hair, like clouds o'er fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow that I have loved not as I should, a creature made of clay, where the angel woos, the clay he'll lose his wings at the dawn of day. On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would be the snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a falling leaf at the dawning of the day. And I said, let grief be a falling leaf at the dawning of the day. Voila! All right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to do a song I haven't done in a long time. And I decided I wanted to sing it this week. A song by Chris Christopherson. And I remember when I heard this song, I just thought, I never thought it would affect me later like it did. Okay, I think most of you who know me will get it. Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head. Didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled through my closet for my clothes and found my cleanest, dirtiest shirt. I shaved my face, combed my hair, stumbled down the stairs to meet the day. I smoked my brain the night before on cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking. But I lit my first and watched a small kid cursing at a can that he was kicking. Then I crossed the empty street and caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. And it took me back to something I'd lost somehow, somewhere along the way. On the Sunday morning sidewalks, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. 'Cause there's something in a Sunday makes somebody feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying lonesome as a sound on the sleeping city sidewalks. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw Daddy with the laughing little girl who he was swinging. And I stopped beside a Sunday school and listened to the song that they were singing. Well, I headed back for home, somewhere far away. A lonely bell was ringing, and it echoed through the canyons like the disappearing dreams of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing the Lord that I was stoned. But there's something in a Sunday makes a body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome as the sound on the sleeping city sidewalks. Sunday morning coming down. On the sleeping city sidewalks. Sunday morning coming down. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that one. Thank you. I'm looking at my own reflection in my phone, and I'm just thinking of the crowd of you guys that are out there. There's quite a lot of people, and I'm just delighted to be here, okay? Delighted to be here. Delighted to be reasonably well, reasonably healthy, and grateful for everything that I have, and grateful for you, all of you. Some of you I don't know, some of you are new, and I'm just so happy. I'm happy to be here to play for you, to sing for you, and just to maybe lighten your load on a Sunday, another week ahead of us. So anyway, I've got a few more to go yet. We've got plenty of time. So here's another one that's on the O'Malia CD, which I never do. It sounds kind of, it's much better, I think, when there's a, where is it? Oh, it's in the Gaelic language and in English, okay? So let me see if I can find it. It's called Tá McClownis the Anta, okay? Here it is. And Tá McClownis the Anta o Ahuarer. Snemo no gadahnin on Vanyom Fain. Ach fogi be am yigi, Kasimi Melium Fain. Erfod na Gilta Krevach, okay? And what that means is, so I sing that first, and then I'll sing the English language version of the verses, okay? Let me just check the tuning. I had air conditioning put in here in my house a couple of years ago. Wow, best thing I ever did. Otherwise I'd be pushing it right now. You know what it's like in the summertime these last few years, my God. Here we go, ready? My match was made here last night to a girl I neither loved nor liked. But I'll take my own advice and I leave her behind and I'll go roaming the wild woods all over. Well, essentially, that gets turned around, okay? She's the one that goes and leaves, okay? Here we go. Tá McClownis the Anta o Ahuarer. Isni nagadati na Vanyom Fain. A fogi be him yigi, Kasimi take my own advice, and I leave her behind and go roaming the wild world all over. You'll miss you here, I guess you'll miss you here. You'll miss your cupcake, your strada blaklia. Har saul den machalling das the jakke miss you leave. She and banda of a dog of oh, she did. Yes, well, I walked up and I walked down. I walked Cork, Dublin and Belfast town, but no equal to my true love could I find. She's the wee lass that's left my heart broken. Dairig me her margin, Kabul River Law, cause for me litcha, oh my fila craw. Cooler me a smallie this a land of a raw. Gareli McGraw, Harsaelia. Yeah! Well, I got up 2 hours before the day, and I got a letter from my own true love. I heard the blackbird and the linnet say that my love, she had crossed the ocean. Oh, my clown is the anthem. Oh, I there is me born, I'll get that name, and that young fame. Just foggy may have ye, a skinny lump vein, her fun the keel the grave. Yeah! Ah, yes. Everybody okay? Are we doing all right? Great, we got numbers. Lots of people out there. That's great. Let me see what else we got. Number 10. Where's number 10? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's one that I got a request for, okay? This one goes out to Christy and the gang down at the Old Dubliner every Thursday. That's Jack and Denise, Dale and Sherry, Diana, Christy. They are my loyal fans. Every Thursday for years come down to see me. So well, hopefully that'll start back one of these days, but who knows? Nobody can tell right now. So here we go. The Vincent van Gogh story by Don McLean. Called Vincent. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly haze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes that China blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they listen now, for they could not love you, but still your love was true. And when no hope was left in sight on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits on the empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met. The ragged men in ragged clothes, the silver thorn and bloody rose, like crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Woo, okay. Does anybody want to shout me one request? I got time for 2 songs. Great song. Yes, it is, Sue Lindley. Let me have a drink of water here. Anyway, what else can we say today? Let me see what I got. Anybody got a request? America by Simon and Garfunkel. Okay. All right, Mary Beth. Do that. I'm going to play it on the Guild. You know what? When all that's the Taylor, and it sounds pretty good, and it plays great. Okay. It doesn't sound that great plugged into an amplifier though, to a PA. But you know what? I bought this guitar a long time ago from a dear friend of Terry McCartan and myself. It's funny that Mary Beth should ask for this one. I do want to tune up. I bought this guitar from a friend of ours named Mike Fleming, and it's probably worth about at least $2,500. Okay, even in this wrecked condition. But I bought it from Mike back in 1981 or 82 for $500. He paid $900 or $1,100 the year before, I think. And he wanted to buy a Rolex watch at the time of, he only played this thing 4 or 5 times the whole year that he had it. And it was in pristine condition when I got it. Now look at it. But you know what? It's the best sounding guitar I've ever owned. Whether it's just like this or plugged in, it's just great. So it's, okay. Let's hope America is restored to sanity and health, prosperity, and love. Love. That's my word for today. Not trying to be prophetic, but by God, that's what we need most of all right now. And a deliverance. A deliverance. Dear God, deliver us. You know, I don't know. We could talk for another hour about it. Love the one you're with. Yeah. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. I've been singing this song since I was about 14 years old. God bless America. All of you folks around the world, God bless you too. And be safe. Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag, so I bought a pack of cigarettes and Mrs. Wagner pies, and walked off to look for America. Kathy, I said, as we boarded a Greyhound in Pittsburgh, Michigan seems like a dream to me now. It took me 4 days to hitchhike from Saginaw. I've come to look for America. Laughing on the bus, playing games with the faces. She said the man in the gabardine suit was a spy. I said, be careful, his bow tie's really a camera. Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. Smoked the last one an hour ago, so I looked at the scenery. She read a magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. And naked, but I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. Yeah, thank you. Okay, should I do one more? You want to hear one more? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, I'll do one more, everybody. And thank you very, very much. This is a song I've never sung before. So tune in again next week and we'll see what we have in store for you, okay? Let's see, where is it? And it's a song by the Pogues, okay? So again, thank you everybody for coming in. And I'll see you all again next week. Spread the word, okay? And thank you all for your kindness and generosity. Always. All us musicians, this is all we do. So nobody knew this was coming. So, okay. So I'm going to read off the chart, okay? And it's a song that was not actually written by Shane MacGowan, although he sang it. I'm not sure which of them, Spider or Phil Chevron, that wrote this song. I think it was Phil Chevron wrote this. It's called Thousands Are Sailing. Song about the Irish again, leaving in America and stressing, you know, New York is mentioned in here. The island, it is silent now, but the ghosts still haunt the waves, and the torchlight of a famished man who fortune could not save. Did you work upon the railroad? Did you rid the streets of crime? Were your dollars from the White House? Were they from the five and dime? Did the old songs touch you? And did they still make you cry? Did you count the months and years? Or did teardrops quickly dry? I know, says he, 'twas not to be. On a coffin ship I came here, and I never even got so far that they could change my name. Thousands are sailing across the Western Ocean to a land of opportunity that some of them will never see. Fortune prevailing across the Western Ocean, their bellies full, their spirits free. They break the chains of poverty and they'll dance. In Manhattan's desert twilight, in the depth of afternoon, we stepped hand in hand on Broadway, like the first man on the moon. And the blackbird broke the silence as your whistle did so sweet. And in Brendan Behan's footsteps, I danced up and down the street. Then we said goodnight to Broadway, giving it our best regards. Tipped our hats to Mr. Cohen, dear old Times Square's favorite bard. Then we raised a glass to JFK and a dozen more besides. When I got back to my empty room, I suppose I must have cried. Thousands are sailing again across the ocean, where the hand of opportunity draws tickets in a lottery. Postcards and mailing of sky blue skies and oceans, from rooms that daylight never sees, where lights don't glow on Christmas trees, but we dance to the music and we dance. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you. Please join me again next week. And love you all. You're most kind to join me here on a Sunday afternoon. I'm going to keep going, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. God bless. Love to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Peckle. All the best, everybody. Now for a rest this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next week, everybody. Bye.